All right, Detroit Lions clinched the NFC North for the first time ever, win the division the first time since it was the NFC Central since 1993. And I feel real quick that this rebuild is ahead of where it should be. I think they're about 2 years ahead of where they should be. Now, some things happened in the division where, Aaron Rodgers left. And Jordan Love ain't so bad neither. I've been one kind of like supporting him and saying that he would. I've been saying that like they were somebody to look out for. Um, the Bears, I think they're doing some things, laying some groundwork there. The question is, will they stick with Justin Fields or not? And Minnesota started off 0-5 with Kirk Cousins. And they started winning some games down the stretch, but we know kind of what Kurt is at this point. Hopefully, get healthy with the Achilles injury and all that type stuff. But um, I don't think that this means the Lions are going to be dominating the division for years to come and clearly dominating the division. I mean, football, you could be the youngest team 1 minute like Seattle was, one of the younger teams in the NFL and won a Super Bowl, and then injuries can happen, contracts can happen, and then you can fall off, and then you in a full off rebuild. So we know how that goes. Um, so, but I think they're in a good place. I think they're ahead in the rebuild. I think they got something like 60 million in cap already in there. They got Goff under contract for one more year. And obviously, um, they have room for improvement. Uh, you hear the rumor, which obviously Ben Johnson agent disputed it that he wanted 15 million a year. If that's the case, he probably want to stay in Detroit until the right job come out there. But kind of looking ahead. I mean, I think Dallas is another playoff game as this week was, and a team that you may see unbeatable at the house. And I think that's the momentum you need going into the playoffs. I think honestly, the Lions have personnel to get better. You get Gardner Johnson back, get James Houston back, but I just think, and I said this after the game, there needs to be some shuffling of personnel, especially in the back end of that defense. And, people forget that Melifanu shut down Devontae Adams on Monday night. The Monday night game where Trey Flowers was called for the Phantom Holds. He's 6'3", athletic, big, and he can cover. Just for the in-between time, in the meantime, he needs to be starting at corner. Yes, he's doing great things at the safety position, but you get Gardner Johnson back. So you need Melifanu to match up with the CD Lambs. You need him to match up with the AJ Browns. You need him to match up with the Brandon Ayuk's and the Mike Evans and guys of that nature. At 6'3" and how athletic he is, let him go out there and play corner and let him roll. That's what he was drafted as. Move Jerry Jacobs to a reserve role. Him and Cam Sutton handle it. Gardner Johnson and Kirby Joseph in the back end. Now, if you notice, Kirby Joseph been playing a lot better because Melifanu is now handling the coverage at the safety position. Now Melifanu is the guy that's playing one-on-ones. He guarding guys one-on-ones and stuff of that nature. But from an offensive standpoint of view, I think it's kind of going to be critical of them rolling into the playoffs. I think what Ben Johnson need to figure out is that when that run is clicking, just stick with it. Stick with it. I just think that I like to see them stick with the run just a little bit more. That's just my opinion. I would love to see them stick with the run just a little bit more. You know, um, just a little bit more. But I just think, going into the playoffs, if they can continue to stay healthy and get healthy, they're in a good position. I just think they need to do a better job at knowing their personnel. That's my opinion. I figure they need to do a better job at knowing their personnel, and especially in the back end of that defense. So, but we'll see. We'll see. But and offensively, going to the playoffs. I just think they got to take the demeanor. I think the demeanor of them offensively is just, running the ball down people's throat. I like to see them consistently run the ball until people stop it and get Goff going back to being a play action quarterback. That's kind of what I want to see. You know, kind of seeing Goff go back to being a play action quarterback. So, but offensively, one thing that is encouraging that they are doing is they are starting to find a niche for Jameson Williams. They're finding a niche for him. Um and he's finding a way to get open, and you seeing what he can do yards after the catch, and that's going to set him up deep down the field. You know, when they take Laporta away, now you got Jameson and Khalif and Donovan Peoples Jones is starting to step up a little bit. Um, so I think those are our little things they got coming up. But just to talk about that's the playoff future. But um, just to talk just to talk about the broader future and going forward, I mean, things that they need is, pass rusher. Um, they got a quarterback of the future, possibly, pass rusher. Um, uh, probably some help on the inside of that defense. A defensive tackle that can rush the passer, stop the run, and give them that juice that Ndamukong Suh used to get them for years. You know, so I think that's kind of the biggest need they need going to next year is a big fella in the middle of that defense that can give them everything that they're looking for. They got draft picks next year. They got some cash. They might throw a little bit to Jared Goff and structure that and all that type of stuff. But yeah, I just think edge rusher, inside rusher, and I just think overall they need to be more athletic in the front seven. I think Derek Barnes and Jack Campbell is the future in that at linebacker. But I think when they go out there and they look for um a a really good edge rusher and a good and somebody that's prominent at the defensive tackle position, I think the number one thing that they need to be looking for is athleticism. You know, athleticism at both positions. They need above and beyond athletes at that position. And I think a lot of people look at what Kalissi Kansey doing in Tampa. He would have been a good fit of what they needed. So they need somebody that's going to be above, way above way above average in the athletic department. But they set up pretty good. They're ahead of the curve. Um, as far as where they should be in the progression, I thought they'd probably be competing for the division maybe in another year or two from this point. So yeah, they playing with house money right now. You know, and I don't think nothing wrong with that. So they're ahead of the curve. And the number one thing is they got to continue to draft well. Um, yeah, they got to continue to draft well, and and luck is always gonna come with it. Luck is always gonna come with it, but yeah, I just think they're in a really, really good position um right now. And you got two big needs, but I think their biggest need is overall athleticism in their front seven. Then you talk about possibly needing another cornerback out there as well too, a number one corner. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they fill these holes and how they see the issues they have on this team. And you always got to continue to build the depth. That's what the middle rounds are for. So I think guys gonna want to be a part of this in free agency and what they're building here and being a player friendly program. So um so but yeah, man, I like where they headed at. Um the cap is right, so they can take risks or not take risks. But I do think athleticism in the front seven, trying to find a potential number one corner. I think those are all things that's on deck for the Detroit Lions. Um, but that guy in the middle is their number one thing. That guy in the middle is their number one thing. That's their number one need. The guy in the middle. Um, that's what they need. The guy in the middle. If you can find somebody like a Dominic Sue, Gerald McCloy, somebody like that in the middle of that defense, Warren Sapp, rest in peace to Jerome Brown and Reggie White, some of those guys to peace to him. You can find somebody like that. That's exactly what they be missing. They missing, but hey, check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. That subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop video. Financially, want to support the channel. Cash App, $ CJ Good 313. Venmo CJ Good 313. PayPal link inscription. Appreciate the love support. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist for more videos like this. Peace.